This is Scratch Your Own Itch, the one show that delivers the conversations that we're afraid to share, but need to. This show is all about creating a life worth living. I'm Logan Nelson, and I'm your host. So, you're going to hear conversations with creators and entrepreneurs talk about what they do, their current and past traumas, how they became who they are, and what they are truly curious about. This is the show where we talk about the things we think about a lot, but need to talk about more. Please take note that this show is not a substitute for actually creating a life worth living, because this show will stir your beliefs, make you question what it means to create a life worth living. So my promise to you is to always give you one question to answer for yourself today, to start turning your dreams into a reality.
Back into that trash bag in my mind again. And this time I pulled out the handbook of suicide. And it said, why are you even bothering? Kill yourself. Do the world a favor. Drop out. Quit. And I took that handbook and I flipped to the first chapter. And that was my first failed suicide attempt. I sealed off all of the air entry points or exit points or ducts or whatever you want to call them in my apartment with duct tape and heavy trash bags doubled over. I blew the pilot light out on my gas oven and my fireplace, my gas fireplace, and I turned both of them on. I fell asleep. And then inside of that sleep, that was, I'm telling you, probably one of the best sleeps I'd ever had. Seriously. I did not want to wake up. I heard a phone ringing in the background, and it just was incessant. It would not stop. And I went over, tried to pick it up. I was dropping the handset, and I said hello. And a woman, she asked for a name. And I was like, you have the wrong number. She was like, well, who is this? And I said my name. And she goes, okay, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And then she heard me trying to hang the phone up and I couldn't find the thing. So it was just making a bunch of noise. So apparently this woman felt something was wrong. She had them trace the call because she had a family member who was an operator for AT&T. And they took my name. They traced her call. Long story short, within the hour, there were firemen knocking on my door. And that's what saved my life. There were 3 more of those because then I go into the bag again after that. And this time I pulled out drug addiction. And the gift card said, I am the gift that continues to give and give. And it stood behind its promise because it continued to give, but actually take from me and my world for 14 dark years. Within there, of course, there were many suicidal thoughts and tendencies, legal problems, jail time, just all sorts of things. I remember, I guess what they say in the 12-step programs, it was the moment I hit my rock bottom, where I was so distraught, so depressed, so low, so dark, so empty, so all of those things, that I just walked into a walk-in closet at my mom's house. I laid on the floor, balled myself up into a fetal position, and I stayed there for 3 straight days. I really was hoping I would just vanish. But somewhere in that darkness, just like that night when I had the dream of apology accepted and I heard that choir of voices say to me, this is yours, Loren, if you want it. I heard something say to me, I know you don't want to get up, but you need to get up anyway. I know that you just can't find it within yourself to believe any longer, but I need you to believe anyway. I had trained myself to not be able to cry, to suppress, to bury, to hide. And I heard that choir of voices say to me, I know you don't want to grieve, but I need you to grieve anyway. And so I did. And I pulled myself up. And I always tell my audiences, I tell my coachees, I tell anyone who will listen, it felt to me at that moment like an old episode in a Western movie, a scene within a Western movie where the men are fighting in the saloon. And there's always that one that just keeps getting smacked down. And as soon as you think he's down for good, you see that one hand come up over the side of the table. And then you see the other hand come up over the side of the table. And then you see them slowly pull themselves up. And that's exactly what I did that day. I did not want to come out of that closet, but I came out anyway. And I didn't walk into a world that mystically turned from black and white into color like on The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy opens that door.
Hey, Logan Nelson here. I would so appreciate it if you took some time to hit the subscribe button. I really want to just honestly live and give. Why? Because I was told when I was young that if you're feeling down, the best way to feel better is by lifting someone up again. So in an effort to make someone feel less alone, please hit the subscribe button so the podcast has a better chance of being found and making someone feel less alone. And if you're feeling down, hey, it can help you. Know that by hitting that subscribe button, you just did someone a huge favor. So thank you for hitting that subscribe button.
I walked into more of what took me in there. But what was different was I had turned the volume down of the negative, of the dark, of all those things that didn't belong to me in the first place. And I turned the volume up to that voice that told me, come out anyway. It was that day that something showed me, Loren, you're going about this entirely wrong. You keep thinking that you need to recreate who you are, which means you can't be authentic. You have 7, 8 versions of yourself. That was when it dawned on me that I'd been having a recurring dream. In this dream, I was always in the grocery line, paying for my groceries. And every time I turned my head to the front end of the conveyor belt, there was another person from my life standing there. Someone from church, someone from where I had done drugs the night before, someone that had gone shoplifting with me to get those drugs, someone who had abused me, someone. All these different versions, all these people that my biggest fear was they can never all come together in the same place, because if they compare stories, I'm finished. Because I would leave this side out to get this person to like me. I wouldn't tell this person this part because I didn't want them to hate me. And there was nothing authentic about me except for my pain. And that's a horrible thing to be left with and only left with. So I said, well, what do I do? And here's what you have to do. The moment I began making it simple, serving it up to the people around me, the same way what you believe to be greater than you served it up to you, raw and uncut. What we fail to realize and it will help keep us in a depressed state if we don't realize it, is that we have already lived the hard part. It was a matter of me beginning to cut and paste the life that I had already lived, because I had already lived a lot of the hard part. I didn't know that I was an authority. I did not know.
All right, there's another episode of Scratch Your Own Itch. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to support the show by listening. The biggest compliment you could ever pay me is just by sharing this, because honestly, it doesn't take much, and it feels so good when people create something and take time. And when I see someone take time to create something that really just changed my day, either made me feel less alone, maybe put a smile on my face, made me laugh, made me feel wiser, I always want to share it with the world. Because why? When I share something that resonates with me, why not share it? I mean, that's just kind of the thing that goes around, and it's free. It takes no time at all other than just a click of the button, share, on either Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Any of those social media platforms would be great to share this. So I really appreciate it. And I want to say that anybody who's looking to gain authority or expertise in their area, and they don't want to take another year or year and a half to write a book and wait until that's published, I think the best way is right now is to start a podcast. So if you're at all interested in starting a podcast, if you meet the certain requirements, I would love to help you with a podcast and also get a website going for you as well. And this is not an easy task. It's hard to actually get it done and get it out there. So every now and then we need some help, and I'm here for you. So please reach me at logan@logantylernelson.com if you're interested at all. And don't ever forget, you matter and you're enough.